I am a pedophile. I have the attraction, but I don't act on it. I am Todd Nickerson. I'm a non-offending pedophile. I have never ever sexually abused a child. I never will. I do not look at child porn. I never will. I obey the laws. I respect the laws. I respect society's position on this. I understand it and agree with it. I am part of one of the most hated groups of society. No question about it. We are the scapegoats du jour. If you look at history, there's always one minority that seems to be the one that everybody kind of persecutes, and I think we're it.
I wonder why. So yeah, I guess this is a thing now. The virtuous pedophile.
In a new interview with the Sunday Times, the former child star alleges that pedophilia has been a real issue in Hollywood. He tells the publication, quote, "There are a lot of vipers in this industry, people who only have their own interests in mind. What bums me about these situations is that the victims can't speak as loudly as the people in power. That's the tragedy of attempting to reveal what is happening to innocent people. They can be squashed, but their lives have been irreparably damaged." The 35-year-old adds, "If you're innocent, you have very little knowledge of the world and you want to succeed. People with parasitic interests will see you as their prey." Wood says he was not a victim of abuse because his mother Deborah protected him and he avoided those kinds of situations. He goes on to allege that even as an adult in the industry, he has been, quote, "led down dark paths to realize that these things probably are still happening."
Check under your hood.
Oh, sorry, wrong clip.
I'm campaigning for better treatment of people like me. We're non-offending pedophiles. Not all pedophiles are child molesters, and not all child molesters are pedophiles. Pedophile is, strictly speaking, is just somebody who has the sexual attraction to children. They may act on it, they may not. Pedophiles come from all walks of life. We come from all sorts of economic backgrounds, different occupations, and we look like everybody else. There are a lot of teachers and people that, who do work with kids, but I think most of us...
Wait, what did he say?
There are a lot of teachers and people that, who do work with kids.
That's what I thought he said.
But I think most of us just hold regular jobs.
What age groups are you attracted to?
I would say it probably starts about 3, 4 years old.
Wait.
And then goes up into early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and it kind of peaks at about like 9, 10 years old.
What the fuck?
Finn Wolfhard, the 14-year-old star of Stranger Things and It, has reportedly parted ways with talent agency APA in wake of sexual assault allegations against his former agent Tyler Grasham. According to the LA Times, Wolfhard fired Grasham earlier this week, shortly after the Hollywood agent was accused of sexually assaulting a teenager back in 2007. Blaze Good Lipman, who has appeared in episodes of Weeds, The Office, and Hawaii Five-0, recently shared a Facebook post as a part of the growing #MeToo campaign. The actor revealed a powerful man in the industry had sexually assaulted him in his late teens. However, Lipman didn't provide any names at first. Shortly after his post, Lipman said the alleged perpetrator poked him on Facebook, which led him to identify Grasham as the assaulter. 27-year-old film and TV editor Lucas Ozorowski and 19-year-old actor Brady Lindsay have also come forward with similar sexual assault claims against Grasham. APA's head of communications, Manfred Westphal, released a statement saying the agent has since been fired.
What was your reaction when you first decided to show your face on the internet, so to speak?
What was the reaction from the public, or?
Yeah.
Well, I got a pretty public backlash, but by the same token, I actually got a lot of support privately. I got hundreds and hundreds of emails from people who were very supportive. A lot of them were people who were survivors of abuse.
Are you worried about your own personal safety in putting yourself in the public eye?
I used to be worried about my safety, and I do take some precautions. I carry this pocket knife with me just in case I ever get attacked. It's never happened, but I've got it if I need it. It's a spring blade.
You call that a knife? That's a knife.
Initially, I repressed the feelings. you know, especially in my teen years. Because I was a regular at a church, I had asked God to take it away, and you know, I kind of felt like He had. Then as I started aging and realized that the age of the girls I was attracted to were staying the same.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
That's kind of when I realized, you know, this was going to be a problem.
Jordan Liddell was only 13 years old when a well-known Hollywood acting coach turned her world upside down.
He molested me, he raped me, he did everything inappropriate with me.
They're coming out.
This is cell phone video taken by Jordan and her dad that shows Cameron Thor being led away in handcuffs after his arrest.
Look at that creepy.
Is he in handcuffs?
Oh my God, Jordy.
Is
yes.
Incredibly, Jordan was invited by cops to witness his arrest after she helped investigators nab him in a sting operation. Thor reportedly taught a list of celebrities like Cameron Diaz and Madonna. He also appeared in the blockbuster film Jurassic Park.
You shouldn't use my name.
Jordan says the 55-year-old instructor, who was married and a dad himself, gained her trust by giving her free acting classes and offering to buy her braces.
Do you believe in your gut that Cameron Thor groomed you to molest you?
Yes, I do. At the time, I trusted him. He was like a dad to me. I'm just like, oh, well, he's just taking care of me. Oh, he just like loves me as a daughter.
But in March of 2009, he took her for a drive in the hills above Los Angeles that she says turned terrifying.
This is the remote area where Jordan says Cameron Thor drove her when she was just 13 years old. She says he smoked marijuana and blew the smoke into her mouth. Then she says he threatened her, forced her to take her clothes off, and then molested her.
It took months before she could reveal her shocking secret to her parents.
I was so mad, and I just thought, what a scumbag, what a pig to do that.
It was the most horrific thing I'd ever heard in my life, let alone happening to my daughter.
Haunted by her ordeal, the former high school cheerleader waited years to go to police. When she finally did, detectives said they needed more evidence. She agreed to call him, and cops secretly recorded their conversations.
Did you know the first time I smoked was with you?
Oh, that's really funny.
That was
I feel
like
terrible.
Why do you feel terrible?
I'm a terrible, corrupting influence.
In another recording, Thor said he wanted to have sex with Jordan, which prosecutors used to help convict him of one count of committing a lewd act on a minor. All other charges were dismissed.
I've always had this mad desire to you.
You have?
Yeah, which is a really sort of direct way to put it.
His lawyer, famed defense attorney Mark Garagos, was still arguing his client's innocence at his sentencing.
With all due respect to the entire criminal justice system, they got it wrong this time.
And he still has supporters who were there in court for the acting coach.
I know Cameron's innocent. I'm hopeful that the truth will come out.
The judge sentenced him to 6 years in prison. Now at age 20, with dreams of becoming an actress long gone, Jordan embraced her parents and brother outside of court, feeling her nightmare is finally coming to an end.
I went out with a girl when I was 20 years old, so she was 26. She was very petite, so she was my type physically, or I thought, you know, at the time. At this time, I still wasn't really that attracted to adults, but I thought, well, maybe I can make this work, you know. We dated for about 3 weeks. I kept putting sex off. Finally, I gave in. We tried it. It just didn't work. I went on a couple of dates after that with a couple of girls, but you know, it never really got past that first date stage, and it just, my heart wasn't in it. For all intents and purposes, I am a virgin. You know, I've never had full-blown sexual intercourse. It just hasn't happened. I have a pretty healthy imagination. I think it helps me to process my sexuality in healthy ways that don't involve any real children. You know, a lot of my fantasies actually revolve around kids who are more powerful than I am. Is, you know, this idea of super-powered kids, you know, who are able to consent, you know, because they're just super smart, or, you know, they could just crush me, you know, if I hurt them.
The film director Woody Allen and his adoptive daughter Dylan.
It was 1989. She was 4. Just 3 years later, it was claimed he would take her up into the attic of her mother, Mia Farrow's house, and molest her. 22 years on, and Dylan's given her first public account of what happened in an open letter to the New York Times. In it, Dylan, who's now 28, says,
"He told me to lay on my stomach and play with my brother's electric train set. Then he sexually assaulted me. He talked to me while he did it, whispering that I was a good girl."
The allegations have shocked Hollywood, but they first emerged in 1993, when Alan was in the throes of an ugly custody battle with his partner Mia Farrow for their 3 children, one of whom was Dylan.
My children have been ripped apart emotionally.
The relationship fell apart after Alan became romantically involved with Sun Yi, Farrow's adopted daughter with a previous husband. She was 19 at the time and Alan was 50. They were later married. Alan lost the custody battle and was eventually cleared of the assault allegations by investigators.
I never, ever abused my daughter. There was no sexual abuse that ever took place.
But writing in the New York Times, Dylan asserts,
"For as long as I could remember, my father had been doing things to me that I didn't like."
She claims he would do things like
stick his thumb in my mouth
and
place his head in my naked lap and breathe in and breathe out.
She added,
"These things happened so often, so routinely, so skillfully hidden from a mother that would have protected me had she known."
She did eventually tell Mia, and even though Alan was cleared, his ex-partner hasn't given up trying to smear his name, something she was accused of at the time.
I think the evidence was very clear that that Dylan was manipulated by Miss Farrow.
Mia was said to be furious last month after Alan was awarded a Golden Globe for Lifetime Achievement, and Ronan, his biological son with Mia, said in a tweet,
"Missed the Woody Allen tribute. Did they put the part where a woman publicly confirmed he molested her at age 7 before or after Annie Hall?"
Jasmine, oh my God, look at you.
Dylan said she broke her silence after Alan's latest film, Blue Jasmine, was nominated for an Oscar. One Wall Street Journal writer was so shocked he described Dylan's letter as the end of Woody Allen. But many say it all smacks of a campaign orchestrated by Mia to discredit one of Hollywood's finest ahead of the awards season.
2 new voices now jumping into the middle of the Harvey Weinstein sex abuse scandal, and both might just surprise you. First, there's famed director Woody Allen, who, as you probably know, faced his own separate sexual assault allegations from his adopted daughter. Called the situation tragic for the poor women that were involved, as well as sad for Harvey Weinstein. Now, Allen also added this: "You don't want it to lead to a witch hunt atmosphere, a Salem atmosphere where every guy in an office who winks at a woman is suddenly having to call a lawyer to defend himself. That's not right either." Well, that led the president's son, Donald Trump Jr., to tweet back, "It's not a witch hunt when it's actually happening, and if you think it's not after the past 2 weeks, I have to question your motives."
My niece, then my friend's daughter did that one, a friend's daughter did that one, and then a friend's daughter did that one.
And they're okay with that? Are they,
yeah.
They're fine?
Yeah, because they know I am no danger to them. You know, I'm probably safer with me than they are with, like, you know, a lot of non-pedophiles.
Fucking stoned.
I am a pedophile. I'm not a monster.